Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Quip Corner with Ada. Yes, I'm home and I'm happy. And this is a special edition. And let's see. Yeah, suffices to say this is a special edition. And when you join me in the Quip Corner, I'll explain why and how, maybe why and how, or maybe just why this is a special edition. See you in a bit. Well, thank you for staying tuned. I just realized that something that would have been unique, but maybe shouldn't be, about this video is there wouldn't have been a quip to go with it. And I was like, I'm sure there is a quip somewhere that will fit in nicely. Okay, let's reel this back and explain why I said this is a unique video. What did I say unique? I can't remember what word I used in my intro. You can rewind later to find out what that word was. But we are 31 days away from Christmas. Wow. November 24th. Well, that's not the why of this video. This month, we have learned about a few new books. So as I was wrapping up, the scheduling of the author videos, it occurred to me that I had one space. And I was like, what can I do with this space? I don't want to have a space, what do you call it? A redundant space or, yeah, wasted space, right? That's the way I saw it. And so I started digging in. And I found out that today is National Sardines Day. Yep, you heard me right. National Sardines Day. I didn't know there was such a thing. I didn't. Well, I'll share some of the things I found out, but we're going to start with a quip. Yep, because God led me to the right one for today. We'll be reading quip 74. I guess there had to be a 4 in it. We'll be reading quip 74. Quip 74 from my fourth book. Quip 74 from, so fours all around. November 24, quip 74, book 4. And it says, you are unique and there's a niche no one else can fill. No one else but you can fill. How many of us know that, was it a soap opera way back when? Yes. No, I'm dating myself. Yes, I am dating myself. That was titled No One But You. Well, this quip says, you are unique and there is a niche no one else but you can fill. There is a niche. There's a spot that only you can fill. With that as our backdrop, let's look at some of the interesting, I'd say fun facts about sardines. I learned so much. I learned so much about sardines, and it brings me great pleasure to share them with you. fun facts. There are many more, but five that I chose. One, sardines aren't one single species. There are over 20 types worldwide. Okay, good to know. And then they are named after Sardinia, Italy, where they were once super abundant. When I saw this, I was like, ooh, that's one place I'd love to visit one day by God's grace. I had to tuck that in. The third fun fact is sardines actually sparkle. Their shiny scales reflect light. They glow lightly under UV light because of their scales, so natural reflectiveness. Hmm. And I put a note to myself, and I was like, God expects us to also have natural reflectiveness, showing up His light. And like the quip said, you are unique, and there's a space that no one else can take. So there's an expectation that wherever you show up, you shine. Wherever you show up, you shine. The fourth is that these tiny fish are small but mighty. They are packed with omega 3, calcium, and vitamin D. They are also excellent for heart health, help reduce inflammation, and support bone health because of the high levels of vitamin D and calcium in them. Huh? Wow. I didn't know that, did you? It also says that sardines boost brain function. They aid in weight management and provide essential nutrients like vitamin B12 and iron. And the fifth fact that surprised me, I'd say the most, was that a can of sardines has more calcium than a glass of milk. Hmm, I guess it means we need to start packing it in, right? We need to pack it in to get the calcium that we need, bone health and all that, all those benefits. We need to start packing it in, packing it in. Talking about packing it in, have you heard that phrase, packed like sardines? Yes. When it's all crowded and you're like squished in and you're like, we're being packed like sardines. That happens. And there's a reason that sardines are packed tightly. There may not really be a reason for when you're packed tightly, like in a city bus, public transit, or in traffic, packed tightly. But sardines are packed tightly for a reason. I found out that they are packed tightly primarily to minimize the amount of expensive packing liquid, which is oil, water, or sauce. And the packing liquid is used to prevent the delicate fish from breaking during transport and landing. This tight, uniform arrangement, often done by hand, is a balance of cost efficiency and presentation. Actually, I should have bought a can of sardines for this, but yeah, there's no point. But you know what it looks like. I'll put a picture somewhere and you'll see, just in case you need to be reminded or you have never seen a can of sardines. That could be a possibility too. It's important for those who pack the sardines to maximize their resources. That's why they pack them as tightly as they do. When I discovered this, I asked myself, how do I maximize the resources that I have? How do you maximize? How do you make the most of what you've got? Remember our quip, you're unique and there's a place that no one else can take but you. Not in those exact words, but that's the essence of the quip. So, those spots that God has placed you in, how do you maximize your being there? How do you maximize them? Or do you just go with the flow? Whatever happens, happens. You don't care. Hmm? Uh-uh. Now, the other thing I found, let's see. Oh, well, sorry. The other thing about maximizing is this video is an example of maximizing opportunities. Like I said, I had an extra spot and I was like, okay, Ada, how can you maximize this opportunity? Who knew? Who knew we'll be going full circle to talk about something that talks about maximizing opportunities or, resources? Another fun fact about sardines I found was that a group of sardines is called a family. Hmm. So I tried to link it with being packed like sardines. And for me, the result was as a family, it's important for you to be closely knit. All these, oh, I need my personal space. I need my personal space. God places the lonely in families. That's what the Bible tells us. So, you know, stay close. Stay close to your family. Appreciate them. Yes, every family's got some of those. We won't say it. I won't say it. You won't say it. But we both know what we're thinking in our in our minds. But you cannot do without family. Please don't ever think so. Families are a gift from God. So with that thing about being called family, something else I found was that sardines are representative of friendship, familial support, and love. Ooh, I truly found so many, many, many things about sardines, and I was like, okay, let's celebrate this day megally. So let me read out some of the things I got from, was it Chat? Yes, it was Chat GPT I got these from. Inspirational life lessons from sardines. One, small does not mean weak. Remember what I said about you being unique? Yes. So you may feel you're small, it doesn't mean you're weak, just like sardines. It goes on to say sardines may be tiny, but they're nutritional powerhouses full of protein, calcium, and omega 3s. I mentioned that before. Life lesson, you don't have to be big to make an impact. Even small acts of kindness, quiet prayers, or behind the scenes faithfulness can change lives. The quote idea they suggested was, don't estimate the small things. Even a sardine is packed with strength. And you too are packed with strength. Another ChatGPT coinage that I referred to earlier is shine where you are. Sardine scales naturally reflect light, which makes them sparkle underwater. The life lesson is let your life reflect God's light wherever you are, at home, church, or work. You don't have to be loud to shine. Just be consistent, humble, and radiant with grace. Radiant with grace. We've been talking about grace quite a bit this year, right? And we also have said that when you're shining bright, you're not there to blind others. The quote idea that came with that is be like a sardine, small but shining with purpose. And dare I say, on purpose, or add rather.
Next, be a source of nourishment. Sardines feed countless people and animals. They're life givers in the ecosystem. Now, this is not to say that people are going to eat you up, far from it. But there are several scriptures in the Bible that talk about our words giving life. You know, the righteous give life by their words and things like that. The life lesson here is your presence can nourish others. Through words, service, or prayer, you can refresh weary souls around you. Our presence should always, always be a presence to those around us. There's that saying that if your presence doesn't make a difference, neither will your absence. And when I think about your presence or my presence being a presence, it's not just for weary souls, it's for everybody. Remember my quip about people being glad where you are? Okay, there's a video around that. I'll see if I can link it up here. The quote idea here is be someone's spiritual sustenance today. And once again, that's not to say you should become God to them or for them, but let God work and walk through you in their lives. All right, moving on.
Another one, be flexible, not fragile. Be flexible, not fragile. Sardines adapt to their environment and move with the current when necessary. Life lesson, flexibility is a strength, not a weakness. In leadership, ministry, or family, it's okay to bend without breaking. Reading that, I was reminded, not was, I am reminded of the palm tree. It says that the palm tree sways but doesn't break in the wind. And in many passages in the Bible were described as palm trees. The quote idea there is when the current changes, don't panic. Adjust your fins and keep swimming. Adjust your fins and keep swimming. Let's see if there's any other one. Okay. Yep. Be unapologetically you. Be unapologetically you. Some people wrinkle their nose at sardines until they try them the right way. Life lesson, not everyone will appreciate your flavor, and that's okay. It's okay. Like I say, each to their own. It goes on to say, stay true to who you are. The right people will value what you bring. The right people will value what you bring. The quote idea is don't tone down your flavor. Someone out there needs your exact spice. And that brings us back to the quip. So I don't misquote my own quip. I'll read it from the book again. Quip 74. Quip 74. You are unique. And because I like to play with words. I spelt it with the U, not letter U, but YOU. You are unique, and there's a niche no one else but you can fill. There's a niche no one else but you can fill. So be unapologetically you. You are beautiful just the way you are. So be yourself to the full. Beautiful. Be beautiful. I look forward to reading your comments on this, dare I say, unusual video. In fact, when I was thinking about this video, I was like, I think think I should look for something, wear something that is packed to represent being packed like sardines and remind me of the fact that there is beauty in being packed like sardines. So, tell me what else you know about sardines. Yes, there are a few brands depending on where in the world you live. And sardine sandwiches are yummy. Okay, so share your sardine experiences or sardine stories, and let's keep learning more about these things. And dare I say, happy National Sardines Day. You take care and God bless you. Whew. Now, that was a long video, even if I say so myself. Bye now. God bless you.